As parts of Indonesia continue to battle fires, experts are closely watching whether the smoke could eventually drift towards Singapore. Caitlin Ng explains what forecasters are monitoring and what conditions would need to align for haze to reach our shores.
There are hundreds of fires burning across Indonesia, with some of the most significant hotspots here in Kalimantan. But here in Singapore, the sky has remained largely clear. So why is that? And it's a question worth asking. Now, the Singapore Institute for International Affairs has rated this year's risk for a severe transboundary haze event as red. Only the second time it's issued its highest warning since the outlook began in 2019. And that's due to a combination of factors, including the potential for hotter and drier conditions associated with El Niño. And with August and September expected to be the peak danger period, let's take a closer look. Now, to help break it all down, I've asked an expert in climate change and air pollution to join me. So, Prof, first of all, the fires. We see some of the hotspots scattered across Indonesia here. Is there any particular thing that makes one hotspot more concerning than the other?
So if you look at the map, that two particular areas are very crucial. One is the West Kalimantan, and the other one is the South Sumatra, because they are in the upwind direction, prevailing direction in the season right now. So if they have a lot of the hotspots or fire activities over there, that would have a high chance that the prevailing wind can bring the pollutants to affect Singapore.
So one of the factors we do see agencies like NEA tracking is the wind direction. And from what I understand, this wind direction is blowing from a south to southeast direction, and it looks like it's carrying the smoke from the hotspots away from Singapore. What wind direction changes would concern you?
Because the wind direction is not necessarily same in the near level, near ground level and upper level. They could be different wind direction. Usually this kind of transboundary pollution happen in the upper level instead of in the near to the ground level, because in the ground level we have a lot of buildings or other obstacles that can block the pollutant transport effectively. If the wind now is especially in the upper level is from easterly and also southeasterly, that will be very effective to transport to the country here.
Weather is the other key piece of the puzzle. Hotter and drier conditions allow fires to spread and persist. For now, NEA expects dry weather to continue across much of the southern ASEAN region, meaning hotspot and smoke conditions could remain elevated in areas experiencing prolonged dryness.
Air quality now in Singapore, in the past week at least, is deteriorating now, but would not be only by the transboundary haze only, but also the combined effect with the local situation. Together with the measurement and the forecast model, hopefully that we can have a more comprehensive early warning of this kind of haze events in the country here.
So Singapore's haze risk isn't determined by the number of hotspots alone. Instead, it's a combination of things: how active the fires are, whether weather conditions allow them to keep burning, and where the winds carry the smoke. With the region now entering what the SIIA has identified as the peak danger period, these are the maps forecasters will be watching closely.